Hello and welcome to Chabot News for October 19th, 2022. My name is Stanley and today we'll be covering Oakland's mayoral candidate's policies for nonviolence, the arrest of the alleged stalking serial killer, and a football player with no arms. All that and more coming up on Chabot News. The city of Oakland is looking for more ways to combat the increase of crime in the past year. On Tuesday, council members Lauren Taylor and Treva Reed, both of whom are running to be mayor, called upon their colleagues to expand the Oakland Police Department's use of automated license plate readers, a move they say that could boost the department's ability to solve crimes. By using license plate readers, Oakland police departments are able to quickly cross-reference databases to help identify criminals. Concerns have been made about its effectiveness and privacy issues. With data information comes responsibility of that taking care and not abusing it. And we'll be absolutely doing that. But at the same time, we shouldn't limit the use of tools we know will keep us safe, Taylor said. Taylor hopes to see the plan go forward as soon as possible. A man suspected of killing 6 men and wounding a woman in a series of shootings in Northern California was arrested before dawn Saturday as he drove through the streets of Stockton, armed with a handgun and possibly searching for another victim, the police said. Investigators began watching the suspect after receiving tips and stopped him in a car at about 2 a.m. in the Central Valley City, where 5 of the shootings took place. Police Chief Stanley McFadden said at the news conference, Wesley Brownlee, 43 of Stockton, was dressed in black, had a mask around his neck, and had a gun, and was out hunting, McFadden said. Police had been searching for a man clad in black who had caught on video at several of the crime scenes in Stockton, where 5 men were ambushed and shot to death between July 8th and September 27th. 4 were walking and 1 was parked in a car. Police believe the same person was responsible for killing a man 70 miles away in Oakland in April 2021 and wounding a homeless woman in Stockton a week later. For a reaction from Chabot College students, our reporter Hamza Bouja went out and asked students about their thoughts on the Stockton serial killer.
First off, I think it's really good that he got caught, but my thoughts on him, I think it's really unfortunate that stuff like this is still happening in our day and age. I believe this was a hate crime because I believe 4 of the 5 victims were Mexican men. So I think that's really unfortunate that we still have this hate in this world. But yeah, I'm just glad he's caught, and I'm glad the people of Stockton can feel safe again.
Thank God he's off the streets, man. My condolences to everybody, to all the victims, you feel me? I feel pretty bad for what happened to them.
I don't really have any thoughts. I mean, personally, I think it's kind of weird that you just decide to wake up one day and just, murder 6 people. But, I mean, his name was Wesley, so we should already knew he was going to do it. So I have a couple of family members I know of him that went to school with him. They said he was really quiet, and he didn't bother anybody, but he did fight one of my family members when he was younger, so wow. Yeah.
Thanks, Hamza. Investigators were trying to identify a motive for the attacks. Police said some victims were homeless, but not all. None of them were beaten or robbed, and the woman who survived said her attacker didn't say anything. The police chief thanked various local, state, and federal agencies that took part in the investigation, including the FBI, U.S. Marshals, and U.S. Drug Enforcement. The Department of Justice has officially appealed the appointment of the special master to oversee the documents seized from Mar-a-Lago. The DOJ formally filed a brief with the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals Friday, asking the Federal Appeals Court to end the special master's review of the documents. The department argued that the lower court judge had no authority to interfere with its federal criminal investigation, and former President Donald Trump had no basis to interfere with the documents review. The Justice Department wanted to end the special master review of the documents. It believes investigators should be able to review all of them. Trump's legal team has until November 10th to file the response. The appeal is different from an earlier appeal where the DOJ asked the court to block certain aspects of the judge's special master order. The Federal Appeals Court granted the DOJ's request last month. This new appeal contests the entire order to appoint a special master. When it comes to fast food, Taco Bell has the fastest drive-thru line, and Chick-fil-A the industry's slowest. According to the 2022 QSR drive-thru report, Chick-fil-A may be the slowest, only because it's so popular, and there's so many cars in line. While Chick-fil-A customers spent the most time in line, they don't seem to mind, giving the chain a 93% satisfaction rating for speed. The second slowest drive-thru according to the survey, McDonald's. But customers also gave the chain high marks in terms of the accuracy of the orders filled. First place for fastest drive-thru went to Taco Bell, with an average time of 221 seconds, meaning most customers get their food in well under 4 minutes. Across the board, service was 10 seconds faster than last year, when the pandemic caused more staff shortages and closed dining rooms. But service was still off the pre-pandemic 2019 pace, when quick service restaurants got the food out 45 seconds faster on average. Now we go to Diana for some more entertainment news.
Elf star Will Ferrell and actor Ryan Reynolds are teaming up to help you get into the Christmas spirit this year. The comedic duo will headline the new Apple TV Plus Christmas movie Spirited. It's an updated take on the classic holiday fable, A Christmas Carol, with Reynolds stepping in a Ebenezer Scrooge. Ferrell takes Reynolds through various setting and time periods before introducing himself as a ghost of Christmas presents. Spirited will debut in theaters on November 11th. It will stream globally on Apple TV Plus on November 18th. Scream Queen Jamie Lee Curtis was immortalized in cement at the legendary TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood Wednesday. Curtis left her handprints and shoe prints in the same courtyard place that 250 legendary Hollywood stars have left theirs. The ceremony also helped promote the release on her latest film called Halloween Ends. The first movie in the Halloween franchise helped launch Curtis' career 44 years ago. Her famous movie star mother, Janet Leigh, was a star of the Alfred Hitchcock classic Psycho. Now back to Stanley for more news.
Thanks, Diana. And now some news with the economy. Made in America appears to be making a comeback. A post-pandemic manufacturing boom has increased profits and created scores of new jobs. But there's still demand for more skilled workers. CNN chief business correspondent Christine Romans has more, according to the latest. Has more.
They gave me an official offer today.
One open position filled.
This is our open requisition job book.
Countless more still open.
The number of jobs is just incredible.
At this training facility in Pittsburgh, job seekers are learning new skills to seize on a post-pandemic spike in manufacturing.
What's really heightened the issue of the big need and the big demand for these types of individuals is with the coupling of COVID and the individuals that were already looking to retire in the next 3 to 4 years.
Neil Ashbaugh is president and CEO of New Century Careers.
Come back.
It's a nonprofit for adults looking to enter the industry in the most competitive environment in years.
We have individuals that are completing these skilled training programs and yet are going out on 5, 6, 7 interviews, and those companies are all competing for that single source skilled individual.
Since 2020, U.S. manufacturing has increased its profits by more than $200 billion, offering hundreds of thousands of jobs each month. So what's behind the latest boost? At the Jennison Corporation, workers are busy making everything from firefighters' equipment to construction machinery. Hayden Jennison says recent supply chain issues overseas mean more new customers.
It was taking months for parts to not only get manufactured but come across, and they decided that they were willing to pay U.S. manufacturing pricing to be able to get that much faster.
Pricing and product demands have changed drastically in recent years. When service industries became scarce over the pandemic, demand for consumer products and, of course, PPE and medical equipment kept factory workers essential.
Among the average consumer, we did see that, hey, there's a real value for American-made products.
Industry expert Erica Soda says new technologies are also paving the way forward.
We often take a look at the images of manufacturing and we see the sparks flying in a welding environment, or perhaps it's a little bit dingy, dark. But by and large, our manufacturing jobs today are high-tech.
But today's techs are also requiring higher salaries and more flexibility.
We've had to significantly raise our wages to stay competitive in the industry.
Jennison says there's enough work to staff another full shift at this facility, but even at $20 to $30 an hour, finding the right team has been difficult.
Hiring has been a problem since 2020. Hiring experienced candidates that understand the industry and understand what they're doing has been very difficult.
Newly trained candidates like Ishmael are glad to be coming in now. Laid off during the pandemic, he's now in high demand.
After that happened, it was a little rough and tumble, but I landed here and I'm actually pretty happy with how things turned out.
According to the latest numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the economy added 263,000 jobs in September, slightly more than economists had estimated. Now here's Hallie for more sports news.
Thanks, Stanley. Just 20 miles west of Milwaukee, fans and spectators fill the stands at Pewaukee High School. For one football player, the homecoming and senior night game was extra special for her and everyone watching. Kayla Keys has more.
A packed house for Pewaukee's homecoming and senior night game. And one player, she's changing the game.
I've always called her my girl boss since day one.
Ava Matz under the Friday night lights and starting under center.
Like, I know our boys at first were kind of like, you're playing football, but now I don't think they could see me anywhere else.
Head coach Justin Frisky says Matz is a leader on the team.
Ava's just Ava. And I think a lot of people are just like, well, that's what Ava does. And it's kind of a regular thing. And to be honest, that might be the most powerful thing of it, is that it's not a novelty and it's not some kind of fad that she's on the football team.
Matz blazing her own trail while inspiring others along the way.
Can't be prouder, love her to death. She'll remember this forever, and I'll remember this forever.
At first it was a little kind of like hard to kind of be like, where is my place? Do I get to speak up? Like, where is my role? And now being a senior, like, I realize my role is to speak up and to be included and, to like help others find their place too.
Thanks, Kayla. Ava started playing football in 8th grade and has been playing for Pewaukee High School since her freshman year, and the Pewaukee Pirates dominated the opposing team on homecoming night, 66-6. Multiple scoring dives were by Ava. Just outside Cedar Rapids, Iowa, a football player is making a name for himself, not because of his skills, but because of his determination. Scott Seville introduces us to Thad, a 7th grade football player without arms.
Thaddeus Longmire was born without arms, but that doesn't stop him from playing the game he loves.
Football is very fun and that stuff, being a tight end and blocking and feeling like a part of the team.
When Thad said he wanted to play tackle football for the Northwest Junior High 7th grade team, let's just say there were some doubters out there.
No one ever really said I couldn't do it. They just give me like looks and that stuff. That made me feel like that I should do it to prove I'm wrong.
It's not easy playing football without arms.
I feel like it's dangerous on depending the size of the guy I'm blocking.
Because you're not very big, right?
Yeah.
When Thad gets knocked down, he gets right back up and works hard to get his body in front of defenders to make a block. Even though he knows he will never score a touchdown, he takes pride in his blocking.
It's kind of hard to score a touchdown because I can't hold the ball really. So can't really like score a touchdown, but maybe like blocking to get a touchdown.
Takes a lot of pride in seeing his teammates have that success. And he's a selfless person. He doesn't care if he scores the touchdown. He wants the team to get the touchdown.
So why play tight end? Because that's the position his favorite player plays.
George Kittle.
He tells us all the time that George Kittle's his favorite player, and he likes that George Kittle went to Northwest back when he was in junior high. So it's a good inspiration for him. It's a good inspiration for for his teammates to see, hey, if Thad's out here putting in the work every day, then they have no excuse to be out there.
Because if he can do it without arms, why couldn't I do it with arms?
He inspires me to go 100%, even though I know he can't do as many things that I can do. His heart's probably the size of the earth. It's really amazing.
Thad gets his inspiration from his amazing family. His sister Hannah is known as the Blade Runner, and she is one of the top runners in the country. Thad's mom, Lee, believes her children can do whatever they put their minds to.
Absolutely. We always tell our kids dream big, and that we're there to support you the best that we can and help you to make those dreams come true.
People who don't have disabilities can push me a lot harder than people with disabilities can. I want to win to prove a point, still go out there and be every kid, even if I'm different, and that doesn't matter.
What really put a smile on my face was watching Thad's teammates and coaches help him take his gear off after the game. Sports can teach us so many life lessons.
I'm glad that I can be a teammate and be alongside and help him in all the ways that he needs. I love it.
They help me with getting stuff on, like pads, and they're nice.
It would be very hard for me to do that. I'm so glad that he's choosing to do football and that I can be his teammate alongside him.
Thanks, Scott. If Thaddeus Longmire can play football without arms, you can do anything you set your mind to. And that's it for sports this week. Now back to Stanley.
Thanks, Hallie. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communication Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 for more Chabot TV.